This is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of In a Groove, a world classic written by Ryunosuke Akutagawa. This is one of the greatest classics of world literature written in 1921, and in 1952 Akira Kurosawa filmed the story in the title Rashomon, and this Rashomon is the title of another story in the same collection which he used for his film. The story of In a Groove is simple. A samurai is dead, his wife has disappeared, and a notorious robber has been arrested. The story proceeds by calling different testimonies, that is, witnesses, to the events, and the answers given to the questions of the High Police Commissioner are recorded. Different witnesses tell what they know about a crime, and in this attempt, the police commissioner tries to discover the truth through a judicial process. Each witness speaks in dramatic monologues. That is, only the witness will speak, and from his speech we'll understand what was the question asked by others, that is the police commissioner and the people around, and we will also be able to understand the character of the witnesses and what has happened. It will be almost like a drama. Akutagawa's characters reveal that human truths are not only partial and self-seeking but also inconsumable, and therefore the story puts the murder itself into a doubt. That is, in the end, we are still not sure which is the truth version. The first testimony is a woodcutter, and it is this woodcutter who found the body in the groove and who reluctantly admits to having also found a comb. The evidence he gives is precise and clear. He says the victim wore a bluish silk kimono. His breast was pierced by a single sword stroke. The area was trampled, showing that there was a fight before he was murdered. The blood was dried up, saying that the murder should have happened some time ago. And the location was 150 meters from the Yamashina stage road. Next comes a Buddhist priest who describes seeing the couple on the road the day before. The lady was wearing lilac clothes. The man had arrows, and he pities the man because it shows the innocence of human life as brief as dew or a lightning flash. Next, a policeman says that he has caught a bandit named Tajomaru, who is a notorious criminal known for raping women around Kyoto. The policeman suggests Tajomaru is responsible and that the magistrate should question him. The fourth testimony is delivered by the young woman's mother, who confirms that her daughter Masago and Masago's husband Takeharu, the Takeharu is the dead samurai, had been traveling in the hills the day before. She breaks down into tears, worried for her missing daughter's safety. Then the narrative switches to Tajomaru's voice as he casually confesses about the murder of Takeharu. He details how Masago's beauty led him to commit the crime. First, he led Takeharu into a bamboo grove under the pretense that he would sell him treasure stolen from an aristocrat's burial mound. Tajomaru then tied Takeharu up and raped Masago. To his surprise, she asked him to kill either himself or her husband, saying that she would only be with the one who lives. This she says because her shame was shown to both these men, and so only one man should be alive, and with that man she will live. Tajomaru untied Takeharu and challenged him to a sword fight that ended in Tajomaru stabbing Takeharu in the chest on his 23rd thrust. Meanwhile, Masago escaped from the scene. Tajomaru then fled away from the forest with Takeharu's weapons and rode Masago's horse until he was bucked off and subsequently caught. Tajomaru is ready to accept his fate and asks that he be executed by hanging at the tree outside the prison. Now, the culprit is detected, the crime is solved, and justice is served. The High Police Commissioner's involvement ends. Tajomaru will be executed for the crimes and all is resolved, but the woman is still missing. The next account comes from Masaga herself. She delivered everything as a confession in the Kiyomizu temple. In her version of happenings, Masago detailed about the contempt that she saw in Takeharu's eyes after Tajomaru raped her. She went to her husband's side, but Tajomaru kicked her to the ground and she lost consciousness. When she awoke, the bandit was gone. She came to the conclusion that she and her husband both should die, now that her honor had been disgraced. She found the dagger she had used to try to fend off Tajomaru and, with her husband's permission, plunged the dagger into his chest. She tried to stab herself in the neck and throw herself into a pond, but ultimately failed to commit suicide. After a rape and a failed attempt to commit joint suicide, Masago became helpless. She asks the religious authority to whom she speaks what she should do. The final testimony is delivered by Takeharu's spirit as told through a medium. Takeharu's version contradicts both Masago's and Tajomaru's accounts by claiming that Masago asked the Tajomaru to kill her husband. United in their shock at Masago's betrayal, the men discussed about Masago's attitude and what they should do in the circumstance. This show of respect takes Takeharu forgive Tajomaru for his crime. While Takeharu hesitated to answer the bandit, Masago escaped into the grove. Tajomaru untied the rope binding Takeharu to the cedar tree and fled with Takeharu's weapons. Exhausted, Takeharu took Masago's dagger and stabbed him. He slowly bled as he watched the sunset over the grove in the dark, as at that time an unidentified character walked up to him and withdrew the knife. The story ends with Takeharu saying he then sank into the darkness between lives. With no unifying narrative presence to clarify the contradictory events presented in the testimonies, the reader is now left without a clear idea of how Takeharu died. The story ends here. It's a beautiful story. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.